So what is a brand? A brand is all-encompassing. It defines the visceral and frequently intangible aspects of your company identity. And so that's essentially what a brand is. And a lot of people sort of think it's, your brand is your logo, but it's much more than a logo. As we say, it encompasses everything about your business. It's inward feelings, it's personality, the tone of voice, the messaging that you say, your logo, of course, the brand colors, the imagery that you use on social media, your website, even down to the font and the typography that you use in your logo and on your website and various things. So all of those things, all that all-encompassing features, which some are tangible and obviously some are intangible aspects of your company. Right down to the the customer experience or the customer service that you provide. So it's really every touch point a customer or potential customer might have with your business. That's what a brand is. So what is meant by brand awareness then? So brand awareness represents how familiar your target audience is with your brand and how well they recognize it. So it represents, how familiar your target audience is, and it's all about making the right people aware of your brand. And establishing brand awareness is extremely important, especially when you're marketing and promoting your business or products or services. So it's incredibly important. One of the reasons it's important, we're going to talk about some other reasons later on, but one of the reasons is this sort of rule of 7 notion. And the rule of 7 in brand awareness, says that a prospect needs to see or hear your marketing message or see your brand at least 7 times before they take an action and buy from you. Now, there are some critics who I would probably tend to agree with that, 7 isn't cast in stone. But the truth or the point of it is that you can't just engage in, one marketing activity or random acts of marketing or random acts of social media, and expect sales or expect brand awareness and so on. So it's a marketing and particularly social media is an ongoing process. It needs to be an ongoing process for it to be successful. And there's probably a couple of reasons for that. For example, the first time someone sees your brand on social media, it mightn't register with them. It might just seem like a lot of noise on social media, and they have advertising blinkers on or marketing blinkers, so they don't recognize it. But if they see it again and again, they will start to recognize it. Or maybe they'll see your brand or your product on social media or a piece of content, and they're not in the buying window to buy from you. So, not everybody is always in the buying window to buy a new car, or from a company point of view, or invest in accounting software or sales software. So people have to be, in a buying window or generally thinking about something before they might want to engage with your brand or recognize your brand. So that's why it's an ongoing process. And we'll talk about that sort of marketing process a little bit later on too. And in an online context, in terms of maybe social media, what does a brand look like online? And what a brand is basically how everyone will recognize you, and it's generally the first thing people will judge you by, certainly in an online context. And it's about how your brand is seen and heard online. So visually your brand should probably include the same elements across all your social media channels and online channels, such as a logo, colors, fonts, etc. And that's where this sort of need for consistency. So a key component of online branding is this consistency. And I think it was HubSpot did a study that revealed that a consistent presentation of a brand, has seen an increase in revenue in some companies by 33%, which is a considerable margin. So that's how your branding across multiple platforms should have the same messaging, should have the same font, should have the same color scheme, the same logo, and so on. So, and you should set those expectations, for the experience that customers will have every time they interact with you online, whether that's social media or through your website or so on. And you must be instantly recognizable that that is you, or that is your brand. Your branding online and social media, should consistently also convey your value proposition. It should communicate why people should do business with you rather than other people or your competitors. It should clearly set out the benefits of your product or services, how it adds value, how it solves a problem, and that can be communicated on social media. And what you can do, you can communicate, people's experiences from buying you on social media. You can communicate what your brand stands for and what you're about, what matters most to you. And I have a good example of that in action. It's from Southwest Airlines, which are one of the major American sort of airlines. And this showcases exactly how to maintain a consistent branding across multiple online platforms. You can see the various channels here. You have Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. They all use, this virtually the same logo or the same branding, so the purple and the red and the yellow within each platform. They also use it on their website, which is in the top left-hand corner. You can see the imagery on Facebook has a little line on it, which is purple and red and yellow, and the same with their Twitter profile photo and so on. So there's a real emphasis on consistent branding here. But if you look closely, and you may be able to see it now, is that a lot of the messaging around their posts and their updates were that that they're an airline with heart and they care deeply about their passengers and about the world in general. Some of these posts are here are from the during the pandemic, at its sort of peak, and they're trying to convey about how they're still connecting people and products, whether it's food or PPE supplies. They're showing that they're there to help, and they're showing that whenever things get back to normal, they're there when you're ready to take you wherever you want to go. So you can see the, Southwest Heart Strong. You can see the hand showcasing the heart on the plane. So all very, very clever sort of marketing and branding, and that's sort of consistent message. And that's what businesses should aim for online and particularly social media.